Hey, are you here? Well, if there's any place to be here, it's here. Yes, you're here. I see you. You're tuned in to the Paul Leslie Hour, and we're glad to have you. It's a special episode today. It's the third appearance from best-selling author Natalie Goldberg. Natalie Goldberg's one of Paul's favorite recurring interviewees. Natalie Goldberg has written everything from nonfiction, a novel, memoirs, a collection of essays and poetry. She's a fantastic author, and she's done so much to help other writers. Now she's created something remarkable. The Writing Down the Bones deck. 60 cards to free the writer within, from Shambhala Publications. And it's available at bookstores everywhere. Hey, if you're a writer, this deck of cards can really help you if you use it. But it can also be fun and more than just interesting. Natalie Goldberg put it this way. She said, "This is my wish for you, that you take these cards, grab the topic on one side, and write. Remember, no good or bad, just words on the page." If you're so inclined, you may reach out to help us keep this incredible library of audiovisual content we call the Paul Leslie Hour coming to you. Just go to www.thepaulleslie.com/support. And now let's take you right here, Natalie Goldberg, in conversation.
Hi.
Hello.
Are you Paul Leslie?
I am Paul Leslie.
I don't think we've ever seen each other.
No, we haven't seen each other. It's always been audio until now. Well, it's great to see you. We've done this is the third time we've done an interview, and it's great to be connected in living color.
And where are you? I forgot.
Well, before when we were talking, I was in Atlanta, but I've recently moved to South Carolina just a month ago.
You're in all these southern states. We're in South Carolina.
In Charleston.
Oh, I've been to Charleston. Not only that, I am doing a gig at the Sophia Institute in Charleston on July 9th.
Really?
Do you know the Sophia Institute?
No, I don't, but it's
you
so cool.
Find out about it. It's really good. It's really good.
What is it?
It's for consciousness. And
okay.
That kind of stuff. But it's for women, and she does really good work, I have to admit. Could we announce it or?
Absolutely.
Okay, good. And so, wow, you stay in the South.
Well, the first time we talked so much about food. And I will confess that part of the pull, the magnetism to Charleston is a lot of places to eat.
It's a great place to eat. I used to go there to Sophia Institute, and I remember, great restaurants. I agree.
More James Beard Award winners here than anywhere in the country.
Wow. I just read the biography of James Beard, The Man Who Ate Too Much. So I just read that. But
interesting.
I have a feeling I could talk to you. Just go on.
Well, what we are joined to talk about in this particular adventure of ours is a deck of cards, Writing Down the Bones deck.
Yes.
And it's 60 cards to free the writer within.
Yeah.
So what was the birth?
Are we starting now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Good. Okay.
What was the birth of this idea to get the deck?
Yeah, I'm so glad you asked, because Writing Down the Bones, the book came out in 1986. I have not done anything but write books and teach. I have been very legitimate and kosher. I haven't put out writing down the bones notebooks or hats or anything. I've just wanted people to practice. And after it's been out for 35 years, I decided I have so many topics for people to write on. I decided and people don't read as much as they used to. So I decided to do this writing deck, which is to take off on writing down the bones. People don't realize that it's completely tied together. And Shambhala did such a beautiful job. They're the publisher. Look at this. They even put a string. So it's so sweet. Oh, I messed that up here. Here's this. And then this little string, not string, pretty satin ribbon pulls out the deck. So, and this is the introduction and me explaining. I spent a lot of time on this. So I hope people get it. And then a card, each card, they did such a beautiful design. There's a topic on one side, and on the white side is an explanation of the topic. Because I wanted, this is teaching. I wanted people to understand. It's not just, oh, write about the ceiling, oh, write about the door. I wanted people to understand how you select topics, why I selected topics, so they would understand, because ultimately you find your own topics and ultimately you find your own language to find out what you want to write about. But I'm helping to guide them more with these cards. So I was happy about doing it. It was really fun. But then Shambhala did such a gorgeous job. And I should tell people, my guess is that they were printed in China and it was a big deal. And it might not happen again. So they should get it, because if it doesn't happen again, it'll be a rare thing and it'll be like a first edition.
Right.
I don't think it's going to come out again.
Well, for anyone out there who is a writer, no matter what kind, I think that these cards will be not only a source of enjoyment, but also could really help you get things going. Just today, you know, in terms of me picking up the pen and paper, it is a help. And you made it a point that you said, these are topics, not necessarily prompts. Is that correct?
Yes, people have changed everything to prompts, and I say, no, it's a topic, and I'm very emphatic about that. And I think in my introduction, I want to read a little from the introduction because I never did. You know, they've come out and it's COVID. And so can I read a little from the introduction?
We'd love it.
Okay. This is my wish for you, that you take these cards, grab the topic on one side and write. Then flip to the other side of the card and take note, but don't linger. Always best to dive into the page. Through actual practice, the comments will be illuminated and make sense. You can follow the topics in their numbered order or choose a card at random. Okay, here. I've always used the word topic instead of prompt. Prompt is a starting place, but topic indicates more the idea of plunging in and immersing. Why write with topics? One, and then I list. I list 4 really good reasons to write with topics to start. And it's really how I write my books. Someone gives me a topic, I start doing writing practice, and I realize, oh, this could really go. And that's what I do. I really go. I come back to it day after day and just build the meat, layer the sandwich. But I don't know if you can see, they just did such a pretty job with stars I mean, they graphically, I was
Right.
excited about it. Did you notice that, Paul? Graphically,
Yes,
how beautiful it is.
I did. Really draws me in.
Yeah, I'm
it-
glad.
Kind of relaxing to even just pick them up. They're not intimidating. They're friendly to me.
Yeah. Well, and also, I want people to realize it's been 35 years since Bones came out. And this is the first time I have done something connected to Bones to help people out. So I'm thinking it would be fun, Paul, because I haven't used it very much. There's a group on Thursday mornings in Bend, Oregon, that every Thursday morning they sit meditation for a half hour, and then they pull out a card till they go through the whole deck. They pull out a card and read it, the topic, write, and then read the back. And every Thursday till they go through all 60 cards.
Oh, cool.
It is cool. But let me try just for my own fun, because I haven't done anything with it. So let's see, I'll pull out number 35. I have no idea.
All right.
Okay, so I might blow it, give you one that's really bad. Okay. When you see a person experiencing homelessness, holding a sign on the corner, what do you think, feel, do? Write about it for 10 minutes. Then tell me about one specific person. You haven't paid attention? Look next time and tell me about him, her, or them. Now, it's interesting because sometimes when a homeless person comes toward you, you look away,
Right.
but that's one of their painful things.
Hmm.
They want to be a person and they want you to look at them. Even if you say, no, I don't have any money, or no, I don't feel like doing it today, but to treat them like a person. So let's see what Natalie Goldberg says in the back, because I don't know what I said. Do you know someone who has been or is homeless? Have you been? Tell me. There is the painful, concrete truth of homelessness. There is also the feeling that you personally don't belong anyplace. What's that like? So that's interesting. But now I wish I had also said in the back, look at that person, the thing that I just said now. Please look at that person and honor them. And I'll tell you something that, what's the new Pope? Pope John? Is that his name? No, Pope. Who is it?
I'm sorry. I'm stumped. I can see his face.
Pope, is it Pope John? He's wonderful, to the point that I almost would convert to Catholicism. That's how wonderful he was. And he said to people asked, well, what do I do? And he said, what if I give them money and they go and drink with it? And what I love what he said is, just give them money. If you have money, give it to them. Even if they go drink, let them drink. Let them do. I wish he would say that about abortion too. Have an abortion if you really want one, if that's what you need and that's right for you. I wish he could be that luxurious about that too, because it was wonderful. Don't be judgmental about them drinking. It could be their only pleasure in life. Now I'm elucidating on what he said.
Right.
But it helped me a lot because now no matter what, I carry money, dollars in my purse or in the car. And whenever I pass someone with a sign, I put on my mask, I pull down the window and I hand out money. But I often say, could you wear a mask?
Mm-hmm.
And once in a while, the other day I thought, you're a white male, I'm not going to give you any money, which isn't very fair, but they have an easier time in the world, but that's my judgment. So
I see. So Something that you put on one of the cards just recently, I thought, I noticed this was a great help to someone. It just said, if you're feeling stuck, or I don't remember how exactly you wrote it, but start with "I think." And recently, I saw someone, and they were trying to they wanted some help with me with their writing, and I I found that was almost like a magic phrase, because as soon as I said it, I said, "Well, I think," and they started to type. It started to happen for them.
Uh-huh. It's probably not, I think, more I'm thinking of,
Perhaps.
but that is one of my basic writing that I've done probably 1,000 times. I'm thinking of, because we're always thinking. That's the nature of mind. It's always going. So you don't have to worry. Just keep your hand moving and it'll come out. You think you're frozen, you're not frozen. Get working. Get that hand moving. Even if it's just junk you're writing. Mostly you do write. You have to write a lot of junk to write
Right.
something good.
I think you mentioned on one of the cards that if possible, go with pen and paper.
Yes, probably. Because pen and paper, first of all, it's very economical.
Right.
Anyone can afford pen and paper. You can find it any place. And but it's physical. You're using your hand, arm, shoulder from your childhood. And it's connected. And actually, they're making a great mistake now of not teaching script, because script is very important. It develops actually your character. It's a developmental moment. And so if you skip over that, there's certain things that don't develop in you. And that's why I don't know if people still know this. There are handwriting analysts who can read your handwriting and tell you all about yourself. And it could only be, you could write, Natalie Goldberg is fat. I could write that. And writing analysts could tell me all about myself, not about my fat, but from the way I loop and the way I write. So, and most writers I know, at least the first draft is done by hand. I do all my drafts by hand.
All by hand.
Yeah, I do have a typist, and the typist can luckily read my handwriting. And I have them do 3 spaces. So there's a lot of space for me to edit. And then I handwrite edit. And then she does that too. And that's what I've done my whole career. I had, before I wrote Bones, I had a boyfriend who was big on computers. This was in 1984. So I bought an Apple computer. I hated it. I just hated it. And it was $2,000, I remember. So I sold it, and I figured for $2,000, I could probably write, at the time I thought, 4 manuscripts, because it took about $500 to get a whole thing typed. And it just seemed worth it to me. So I didn't have to sit and type. And I gave someone a job
with the computer.
typing. Yeah. No, well, I sold the computer, but
Right.
for a while it was typewriters. Don't forget, I've been writing for a long time. So in 1986, it was still typewriters that people were typing with.
There was a therapist that I interviewed years ago, and he said that he insisted on his patients to journal, but he said it was an absolute necessity. Said it had to be paper.
Good for him. I agree.
So
Yeah.
For someone who picks up this deck, the Writing Down the Bones deck, is there something that you want them to get from that? Is there something you have in mind that you would like for them to take away from the experience of using this deck?
It's always to connect with themselves and help them to have a direction in their life. So if Bones appeals to you, this just deepens the activity of writing practice.
I would be curious to know, it's kind of interesting that every time we have talked, it's been around Bob Dylan's birthday.
Oh yeah, May 24th.
Right.
Oh, what's today?
I believe
Today's the 22nd?
The 23rd.
Tomorrow is Bob Dylan's birthday. He'll be 81 years old.
81
I'm so
years
glad
old.
you reminded me. But June 2nd, I'm going to see him in downtown Seattle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but I've been nervous because of COVID.
Right.
It's gotten worse. But I'm hoping I'm going to double mask, and I'm going to bring lots of that stuff for your hands.
Sanitizer, right.
Can you imagine? I'm going to hear him in concert at 81 years old.
It's incredible, really.
Eventually, he will die on stage.
And
I actually know some writers who have died writing. What's his name? Can I remember his name quickly? I knew his name. He's from Michigan. He's written a lot of novels, poetry, everything. He literally died with a pencil. He was writing and he fell over. And the page, his last page, you could see the line of pencil as he fell over. Jim, come on, help me.
Jim Harrison?
Yeah, Jim Harrison.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know he passed while writing.
Yeah.
Poetic.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that kind of struck me about a lot of the cards was you look at some of them and at many times something that at first seems a little mundane, perhaps, I found resonated the most, or kind of it created the greatest emotional response.
Yeah, because the topic didn't get in the way, in a way, and it was just very pointed. I don't know which ones, but I definitely had that in mind. Here, this is a simple one. Tell me about a body of water you are familiar with. Go, 10 minutes. Let's see what she says on the back.
Right.
This can be a river, lake, ocean, lagoon, stream, creek, or spring. You feel no relation to any of these? Try the water in your bathtub, a glass of water, a shower, a gallon of water in those plastic containers at the gas station. You can find some kind of body of water, even your own body, which is 60% water. No excuses. Water is a great and necessary element. We need to pay attention and protect it. Ask the people of Flint, Michigan. So partially I make it so you start noticing the life around you. A glass of water, a shower, a tub of water. So it's really, it's the same as Bones. I'm just pushing harder. I'm pushing you more. Come on, come on.
Right.
Notice what's around you, what's ordinary. 35 years later, I'm still kicking, I'm still writing, and I'm wanting to help you.
So everybody be sure and pick up the cards, Writing Down the Bones, the deck, and it's 60 cards from Shambhala. And they can get that at bookstores anywhere, or they can go on Amazon, Amazon.com. And
Or
also,
the other alternative or places you can order too.
right, Barnes and Noble.
But it's always nice to go to your local. If you have a local bookstore, go there. And if they don't have it, they can order it for you.
Right. Absolutely. Well, as we're closing here, is there anything you would like to say to the viewers out there, the listeners? Totally open-ended.
Okay, I do. First of all, I found out that Paul is in Charleston, South Carolina, where
Right.
I've been. And on July 9th, from 9 to 11:30 Mountain Time, which is, that's impossible. Never mind, get in touch with it. The Sophia Institute
Right.
in South Carolina. I don't have you like at 7 a.m. working. I think I made some kind of mistake here. Oh, might be. Well, anyway, I take, I think it's, it's 11 to 1:30 Eastern time.
Okay.
I'm going to be teaching writing at the Sophia Institute on Zoom on July 9th. So contact them. They're really a good group. And I used to go there physically, but I'm not going to this time. And also, don't forget my darling, this is my last book, 3 Simple Lines.
Oh, right.
which
Hold
is-
that a little closer to the camera.
Which I still am very pleased with, and it's doing really well. A writer's pilgrimage into the heart and homeland of haiku.
It is a great book. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I enjoyed it very much.
Thank you.
Well, Natalie Goldberg, thank you so much for spending some time with us. Always a pleasure.
And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do the bone deck, because I realize I haven't talked much about it, and I'm still pretty excited about it. It just came out less than a year ago. I worked on it for at least a year. So
it's a great resource for writers, and also a great idea to get someone that you know that's a writer or is getting into a writing practice.
Or really have for conversation. I just realized you can pull out one and have people practice talking.
Right.
I think we're going to all need that after Zoom.
Absolutely.
Each other again.
The cards are a great connection. Well, Natalie Goldberg, thank you so much. And
Thank you.
Perhaps we will talk again.
I think we will.
All right.
Okay. Bye, Paul.
Bye-bye.
Nice to see you.
Good to
Bye-bye.
see you. Until next time.
Okay.
You know, the Paul Leslie Hour is made possible by people like you, listeners, viewers. Please go to thepaulleslie.com/support, and you'll know what to do when you're there. Thank you. Thank you, everyone who contributes. Performance of The Entertainer intro song by John Primorano. And of course, this is your announcer speaking. See you next time on the Paul Leslie Hour.